The Africa Desk of Women Peacemakers Program was established by the International Fellowship of Reconciliation (IFOR) in June 2007 and is hosted by West African Network for Peace Building in Accra, Ghana.
The desk has been in place for just 2 years, and I think we've achieved a lot by reaching out to women in 21 countries out of the 52 countries in Africa. I consider that a very great achievement.
The desk coordinates Network of Africa Women Peacemakers who are engaged in gender-sensitive, active non-violence initiatives to transform societies for peace.
Just immediately after the training, I went back home and I replicated the training in my different organization. Then till today, I've conducted successfully 2 trainings, and I can tell you that now I feel more confident when it comes to training. Every day I talk to women about peace issues, what I did not used to do in the past. And I can also assure you that it has really changed my life in the sense that I feel more confident at different levels, and I experience it in my family also. In the past, I used to be very violent, not tolerant, but now I'm more tolerant since the last TOT. And then I'm considering myself not as a simple woman. I know that I have to play a role of a model because I'm a peacemaker.
It also seeks to showcase Africa as a beacon for peaceful coexistence. Its main goal is to empower African women to pursue sustainable peace.
I am working with a community or displaced people that are affected by conflict in Darfur. The WPP Women Desk, it has helped me so much, and it is very successful for me and Darfur community, because I am able to enter the community through the guidance from WPP program.
The main thrust of the International Fellowship of Reconciliation (IFOR) Women Peacemakers Program WPP Africa Office is to increase the number of Africa women involved in non-violence conflict resolution, thereby contributing to the elimination of gender disparity in peace-building initiatives on the African continent, thus ensuring equality is considered at all levels, national, regional, and grassroots level.
As women, we really have a great role to play as far as peace is concerned, because we are also very deeply affected. Reconciliation and restitution, as well as justice, were realized as part of the missing links in many of the times that we are pursuing justice. And we realize that until this happens, many times there will be processes that will go on, but the conflict will continue for a long time.
This project also attempts to broaden and redefine peace in the African continent as to include peace at family and individual level, thereby addressing violence against women, which is rampant in Africa.
You know, we have a tradition from the part of where I'm coming from in Ghana. That is the Volta region, the southern part of the Volta region. We have a belief that when your family member offends the gods, they have to take a female child who is not of age, a virgin, to sacrifice or appease to the gods of what a family member has done. And normally they prefer the first girl of a particular family. Unfortunately or fortunately on my part, I'm the first girl from my mother's line, and it came to a time when I was very young. People were dying in the family so much that they said maybe the family offended the gods, so they need a female child, a virgin, to sacrifice to the gods. This sacrifice is not a slaughtering. They are not going to cut off my head, but I will belong to a particular shrine. I will no more be a member of my family. I will live there and grow there and marry the shrine priest in the future. So I will go through a lot of tortures and whatnot and that has been going on.
Its mother organization, the Women Peacemakers Program, was established in July 1997 by the Netherlands-based International Fellowship for Reconciliation, IFOR, to support women peacemakers and activists among its members by promoting gender sensitivity within peace movement.
International Fellowship of Reconciliation, IFOR, was begun in 1907 after the Cold War in Europe. And after its existence up to 1997, they didn't have any women programming or anything that was focusing on the women in the movement. Right now, IFOR has 70 groups in about 48 countries. And in 1997, we began a program, Women Peacemakers Program, which was focusing on the women which was mainly to focus on the women in the movement.
IFOR is itself a peace movement committed to active non-violence as a way of life and as a means of transforming unjust political, social, and economic structures. It was founded in 1919 and has branches, groups, and affiliates in over 43 countries worldwide.
The reasons of our decentralizing was mainly to contextualize the program so that it met the needs of the women. The other thing we were hoping that will happen is that it will reach out to more women. In about 2 to 3 years, we had trained only about 10 women from Africa. And now we see that by the program being in Africa, it has trained about 70 women in 2 years. So we were hoping that the numbers of women who are actually practitioners of active nonviolence, gender-sensitive active nonviolence in Africa will increase because of the need in Africa with all the conflicts.
The Africa Desk of the Women Peacemakers Program provides capacity building through gender-sensitive active nonviolence education and training. It also facilitates networking and coalition building among African women peacemakers and activists for advocacy and lobbying. It documents and disseminates information on the work of African women peacemakers to enhance visibility.
I'm Lucy Dongo, a beneficiary of Women's Peacemakers Program Africa. I benefited with WPP Africa from their training opportunities which they have extended towards women. I've attended more than 3 programs with WPP. They have been able to assist me in my community work, specifically in the area of peace building and security. I am currently a consultant in the International Conference of the Great Lakes under the Multifunctional Youth Forum, and also I have been working with grassroots organizations in Nairobi, Central Province, Mombasa, and Eastern Provinces. Since I started attending the workshops with WPP, the experiences from other women from other regions, specifically those who have come from war-torn countries, really opened up my mind to what is happening within the continent. I remember the first training that I attended on active nonviolence here in Nairobi. We had a group from South Sudan who were talking about the challenges they were facing as women in the conflict in South Sudan. Immediately thereafter, we went through the post-election violence here in Kenya, and I thank God I had gone through that training because it equipped me for what was happening here in Nairobi and also in Central Province. From the skills I gained from that particular training, I was able to provide leadership for the International Conference of the Great Lakes under the forum of Multifunctional Youth Forum. And I was able to collect data on IDPs in Central Province and Nairobi.
The Africa Desk of the Women Peacemakers Program has had a number of challenges. Access to communication facilities such as the internet and inefficient telephone network facilities have made it difficult to reach out to women in countries devastated by war, such as Somalia and Sudan. The issue of restricted movement and cumbersome visa acquisition processes within Africa also poses a challenge for the women when they have to attend meetings organized by IFOR WPP Africa office anywhere in Africa. Infrequent and irregular flight connectivity, resulting in extended travel times, tends to discourage some women from participating in meetings and trainings organized outside their home countries, thereby losing out on the capacity building intended for the achievement of our goals. Governments and the entire international community seem to invest more funds into funding peacekeeping operations, which is reacting to violence as against peace building, which aims at preventing violence. Despite all these challenges, IFOR WPP still endeavors to empower African women to pursue sustainable peace.
The impact so far for us is that our programming has received a very high level of ownership. Now our work is actually owned by the women in Africa. They see it as their own work because they have contextualized it. And just to give an example, in our training program, we only had gender and peace and other things like leadership skills. But when the training came down to Africa, they said you cannot deal with issues of peace without dealing with the issues of environment.
We have been able to speak of our experiences, tell our own stories, document those stories. That's on a personal level. If we create more awareness, we're able to reach out to more women. They will be more confident to even stand up in their own families. Because the ones who we meet out there, they can't even speak in their own families. So we'll be able to raise more awareness, and women will not feel lost, they will not feel alone. And eventually they'll be able to make change at their level. Because WPP doesn't take people to make them to become WPP members. But what they do is they inspire you to go out to be the change out there.
The IFOR WPP Africa office has supported 11 peace organizations to develop action plans to help mainstream gender in their various organizations.
We are